Hello, and welcome back to Diecast Graveyard. My name is Paul. Today we're going to restore a Hot Wheels Mantis. This car was produced in 1970 and 71, and it was produced in the US as well as Hong Kong. Now, the car can come with two different interiors. It can come with a brown interior or the more rare white interior. And if you happen to come across one with a white interior, it's a little bit more rare, like I said, so it's worth a little bit more money. Now, this particular car is in Spectre Flame Green, and it's got some crusties on the fenders and on the center line where the windshield meets. So we're definitely going to have to strip this down and restore it and replace the wheels, etc. like that. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is the first time I've ever done a Mantis, so let's go ahead with our restoration of the Mantis and let's get started. I've already drilled out the post. Let's go ahead and take the car apart. Now, the body itself, like I said, there's some crusties on that center section and on both fenders, so we're going to have to polish this down, do a little bit of sanding, etc. Looks like maybe it touched battery acid or something like that over the years. Interiors on the base is in really good shape. The tires aren't in too bad a shape, but we're going to go ahead and replace those anyways, and we'll polish the base. Yeah, that's in really nice shape. We're good there. Engine will have to be cleaned up a little bit. Glass is in good shape, but we'll go ahead and clean it up and polish it down. And the interior needs to be scrubbed out with some soap and water and a toothbrush. Here we've got the Mantis body. We're going to go ahead and put it in some citrus strip. Take care of that. And we'll let that set for a while. Looking good. Here I've got the Flitz polish. I also use the Blue Magic Metal Polish Cream. Now, I like the polishes that are more of a cream versus a liquid because they tend to stay in place a little bit better when you're polishing. So that's why I like to use these. Just go ahead and cover the whole car. Rub it in a little bit. There you go. And then get your Dremel or whatever you use to polish your car and just go to town and start polishing. Try not to stay in one place too long because this will get hot and it will burn, so you've got to be careful. It doesn't take long for that polish to start attacking that metal and making it look really good. That's already starting to look sweet. Just take your time, hold on to your base really good, or your body, and it'll polish out really cool. If you have to, go over it more with some more polish. Maybe even change out the bonnet if you have to. That's starting to look nice. I'm really happy with the way this is turning out. The Flitz polish is pretty good. I got that tip from my friend Paul over at Fat Guy Productions. If you don't subscribe to his channel, go ahead and check him out. Fat Guy Productions. He does some wonderful work and it's fantastic. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on that little bell to be alerted to any future videos that come out. Once we finish polishing this up, we're going to rub it down with a cloth and get it ready for paint. Let's go ahead and move on. I've scrubbed the body down with a degreaser. I use the Zep degreaser. I also use the Super Clean degreaser. That stuff works really well, and man, does it cut through grease. We'll do a little bit of a product review on the Super Clean so you guys can see how good it works. It's also really good at removing chrome off of plastic bases, etc. Go ahead and put down your mist coat or your tack coat. And just make sure that it's light. You definitely don't want to saturate it at this point. Once you get your tack coat down, let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes. That'll give it plenty of time to set up, and any future paint that you put on, it'll give it a really good tooth to bite on. Now that it's sat 5 to 10 minutes, we're going to put on some thicker coats and some heavier coats, and this is where we're going to get our gloss. Just make sure that you keep rotating the body as you paint. And when you paint, do your best to go over the full length of the car, either side to side or top to bottom or whichever way you're painting. But make sure that you're going over the whole thing from side to side again, or from back to front or front to back. Don't dibble and dabble with the paint and just move your brush in one area and just like you're poking it with a pin. Don't do that, okay? Some guys can make it work, but that's not the way I was ever taught to use an airbrush. Let's let that set overnight. Now we've got the base. We're going to put that in a mixture of lime away and water, and we're also going to put the engine in there too. It's got a little bit of tarnish on it, but once we let that soak in there for a while, we can scrub it down with a brass brush and it'll look really nice. It's only been in the mixture for a few short seconds, but you can see already how quickly this lime away and water mixture is working. Again, it's a 50-50 mixture of lime away and water. You can also use CLR or any type of product like that. Alright, it's been in there for about 3 to 3.5 minutes. Now we're going to take the brass brush and we're going to scrub it down and we're going to get the tarnish off the car. Look how quick the tarnish, the dirt, etc. is coming off the car. Now my experience has shown that the lime away and water mixture does not affect the plastic in any way. I'm sure that if you leave it in there for a very long time, it's liable to, but again, I haven't come across that problem. I am wearing at least one glove with what I'm holding on to with that lime away because of the muriatic acid, and I'm also wearing my safety glasses. With this brush, you definitely don't want to get that lime away in your eyes because it'll sting and it could possibly burn you. So please be careful and wear your safety gear. Engine's starting to look good. Immediately, that tarnish and that dirt is falling off the car, or the engine, excuse me. That's starting to look sweet. And when we're done with this, we're going to take it to the sink and rinse it down with soap and water and scrub it on down. Let's go ahead and move on. Now it's time to swap out the tires. Now these tires, like I said, they're not in too bad a shape, but if we're going to do a restoration, let's just go ahead and go all the way. Take your blade, run it over to the raised edge on the tire, follow it across, and then move it back and forth with your razor knife and give it a twist. That'll take that tire right off there. This was a really good idea that Hot Wheels came up with. I wish they would have kept it. The tires they got now are different. How's that? But I do love the real riders. Oop, zing, there goes that tire. We'll get it. Now I save all my old tires, the ones I get off anyways. The last batch I had, I sold it to a gentleman, one of my subscribers, and I'm building up another batch here. I don't know if I'm going to sell them or keep them or whatever, but I do hold them in a little jar. Now these new cap tires, they just snap right on in place, and man, they look good. I got these wheels from the Redline shop. Now if you need anything for your old Redline restoration, visit John at www.redlineshop.com, where Redlines come to life. Check out the products he has if you're going to be restoring your old Redlines. Also, the paints that he has and like that, those can be used on the new cars. Fantastic stuff. All the parts on this car are all cleaned up and ready to go. The interior, the windshield, the base, the body, the engine. Let's put it together and do our reveal. Here's what we started with. This Hot Wheels Mantis. It's a pretty cool looking car now. sometimes the glass in the middle doesn't stay closed. That's a very common thing with this kind of car. It happens to rub on the steering wheel, etc. So if your car, the glass stays open, it's a very common thing, and there's really not too much you can do about it. But we went in, we took the car apart, we scrubbed it down, we got rid of that battery acid, that felch that's on there. We took care of that. We scrubbed the interior out, we polished the base, we gave it new wheels, we polished up the engine, gave it a beautiful Spectre Flame green paint color. Man, what a beautiful job we did in this car. And this one here, I mean, it's not a popular car, but it's still a Hot Wheels Redline, and we need to restore it. And here's what we got to. Look at this beautiful paint job on this Hot Wheels Mantis. That looks fantastic. Almost looks like it came right out of the blister. Fantastic paint job. I love the Spectre Flame paint that you get from the Redline shop. Those brand new wheels from the Redline shop. It's fantastic. Now, folks, like I said, you can do this. And if you want to start doing restorations on your old Redline collection, I do recommend that you start out with a few main lines first. Get your skills down if you're not feeling too confident with it, but in no time at all, you'll have the skills that you need to restore your collection. If you have any questions, contact me in the comments. I read every single comment. I might not respond to it, but I read every single one. And you can do this, like I said. I want to thank my Patreon subscribers, but I also wanted to say to you folks that my Patreon team members are having a build-off with me, and the winner of the Patreon build-off is going to win all the cars of all the people that participate. I sure could use your help on my Patreon page. I'll leave a link in the comments section. Please check it out. It's a fantastic group, and you guys will definitely help me out. Thanks for joining me here today on this restoration of the Hot Wheels Mantis. We've had a lot of fun. We got a lot more videos coming up in the future, and if you got any questions or you'd like to see something, please let me know in the comments section. My name is Paul with Diecast Graveyard. Have a great day.